introduce you to the HYDRA. It is our new stand-up paddleboard from Corran paddleboards. The idea of this board is an alternative to the inflatable board. It's a modular board that breaks down into 3 sections. It's 9 feet long by 34 inches wide. So it's a very stable board. You can do yoga on it, you can fish on it. It's made out of a marine grade polypropylene polyethylene mix. This is stuff that was developed in order to transport missiles and all kinds of stuff like that in the Middle East. So it's very, very strong. And the board weighs about 25 pounds, so it's also very light. The idea of the board is that it breaks into 3 sections. It goes into a bag, it goes into your car, it goes under your bed, it goes in the closet. You come down to the beach and it takes about 1 minute to assemble, which beats 15 minutes of pumping. Anybody who's had an inflatable board knows that by the time you get on the water, you're already tired. With this, a minute later, you're out and you're paddling. Some of the features of this board: it has a full deck pad from end to end so that you can do yoga on it. The pad itself is made out of a material which doesn't rub you and doesn't chafe you. Again, for guys and girls doing yoga, you're not going to get carpet burn or something like it. Unlike a normal board, this has a drop skeg in the back instead of a fin on the bottom. The advantage of this drop skeg is that when you're paddling and you come into contact with reeds, for example, or rocks or a sandy beach, the skeg flips up and down rather than just catching and throwing you off the board. We have a bumper in the front, so if you run into a dock or something like that, you don't damage the board, it'll just bounce off the dock. The assembly is very simple. You simply take the 2 rods and you push it into one end of the board. I usually like to put it in the middle of the board first. So the very first time you assemble the board, everything's going to be tight. It's all brand new and it's going to be tight. So you want to make sure you get those rods in so that the little round mark that's in the center of the rods lines up with the middle of the cut on the board. Once you've lined up the little round dot on the rods with the center cut on the board, you then push the other side in. I like to stand the board up on the nice flat section and just kind of push it down and pull it into place. You then run the cam strap through the board into itself and you tighten it down. You don't have to crank it down, you just got to make it snug. I then mount the front of the board. I then take the 2 rods and you can either put it into the center section or the nose as you like. You then push it together and again make sure that the little round dot that's in the center of the tubes is lined up with the cut on the board. You then push it together nice and snug so that the joint is perfect. You run the strap through the eyelets that's in the main board itself and you tighten it down. Again, you don't have to make it really tight, just snug is enough. You can check it everything again to make sure it's all lined up. You put your paddle together, you adjust it to the right length, and you then go to the back of the board where you put the skeg in. It's very simple. You hook the elastic into the little cutout that's in the skeg. You push the skeg into the bracket and you line up the hole and just push the pull pin into that hole and you're good to go. The water's yours.
sele Napoli, tate, gialli, funa Napoli